Hi friends, welcome to my craft table. I'm so thrilled that you're here today. Thursdays are my favorite because I get to hang out with you and share all the things that I've been working on throughout the week. So welcome. Now, if we haven't met yet, I'm Rita from Rita's Paper Motif, where I share card making ideas, scrapbook inspiration, and projects that keep your creativity flowing. So I'm just looking here. Let's see, it takes a minute for everything to catch up. What I'm doing today is I'm going to share with you some things that I have been working on all week and share my new favorite set of dies. Before that, I just want to say go ahead and follow me here on Facebook so you don't miss any of my lives, and subscribe on YouTube for even more weekly inspirations. And if you ever want to see what I'm working on behind the scenes, you can always visit me at thepapermotif.com. So, as I said, today I'm spotlighting or featuring the nested essential dies. And I've been having so much fun with them. And I'm going to show you the cards I made this week. And then we're going to create a fun fold card using these gorgeous dies. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's craft. And if you're watching here live, please go ahead and say hello. And if you're watching on YouTube, also say hello. I love to come back and see who's on, and I also like to connect with you and say hi. So let's go ahead and get started. So these, as I said, are my new favorite dies. They're called the Nested Essential Dies. And one of the things I do is, as you know, the holidays are coming up soon, and so I'm going to be starting Christmas in July, and also we'll be doing some other cards or projects like for Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. So when I start thinking about those holidays and thinking about things I want to do, I always try to think ahead. And so when I saw these dies have been around for a little bit. They're not brand new on the market or anything, but I guess I had just passed over them. But when I saw them, and I saw a card somebody made using them, I thought, oh my goodness, it was like an aha moment, right? So I thought these will be great for those holiday cards because it offers so much versatility. So when I got mine, I started working with them and started playing around because that's what I like to do with my new product. And then I knew that when in July our online essentials will be having some new product, and I thought that'll be great. I can get an early start. I knew that in July I wanted to do Christmas in July, so I wanted to just get stuff ready to go. Now, the other thing that I have loved, and I really haven't used a lot of it, are the florals in bloom. So this was a packet of DSP I've had for a while, and I just really, well, I love our DSP anyway, but I really did like these. I'm just going to kind of quickly show you a few of the prints. So, you know, there's this print, and on the back, as all of our packages or sheets of DSP, unless they're specialty paper, have an A side and a B side. And so it just gives you a lot of opportunity, and you know, you can create a lot of excuse me, cards because you have two sides to pick from, and they do all coordinate. Like if you were using this DSP, this always coordinates with it. So that's what I mean about coordinating. They coordinate together, and so it just gives you all of those opportunities. Well, it's no doubt that this is going to be one of my favorite because I love that I love purple anyway, and I really love these purple flowers. And so I did make a card using this. So I am going to show you these cards, and we're also going to make a card. So before I do that, I want to show you the cards that I've already made and share with you what die I use. So this card, this is from a current pack of DSP that we have. This is the B side, and these I had from the it's an Extraordinary Life, and that's what this DSP is from too. So these came in the collection, and I've always wanted to use it somehow, and I really like this layered on the black. It just makes it pop. It's like clean and modern. And so I thought, well, what can I do with that? So I just layered it on some black. I used those little floral bits that came in the packet in the suite. And then I used that smallest die, this one right here, I'll just pull it off, to make the white sentiment part on here. And I did go ahead and use this die for the black, but I cut it down because I didn't, you can see, whoops, you can see how big it'd be. I didn't want that much black on there. So I did just cut it down ever so much. And that's how I got this sentiment strip. And the ribbon is something I've had in my stash for a while. I think I was making a wedding scrapbook. And so that was from that. So this was perfect. I got to use that paper that I love. I used some ephemera from a collection. I used these dies, and then these, this bling is from, I wanted to show you, from the Neutral Matte Dots. And so I just pulled those out to use it for that. So that's one way you can use these cute little rectangles. And if you can see, they have like a little mark here that gives you a stitched look. And so I'm going to show you, I have another one here. This is using the bigger, so I did use, let's see, this one, the second to the largest. Well, you could figure it out, but I just think I'll show you. So the second, oh, this cuts out the white, and then this cuts out the, I'm having a mess here. This cuts out the Misty Moonlight, and then the white. And then I just used that Hugs die. Now that Hugs die came in a very old paper pumpkin, so I just cut that out of the Misty Moonlight. And then these flowers, I cut them out of another piece of DSP, and I'm going to show you that DSP in a minute. And so I just cut them out because they go well with this DSP. So another way to use it, so you can see that I really like to use them as a place where my sentiments can live. So there's two cards right there. And then I decided I wanted to use the what looked like banners, right? So I wanted to use that. So I created, and I did use this big die here, and then I just cut it down. So if you position your dies the right way in your cut and emboss machine, and the plates don't go over this part, you can elongate what you're cutting out, or make it longer, I should say, and then you work with it. So I did this. I got this card idea. I think it was, I don't remember who shared it, but it was different DSP. So I just wanted to use this DSP, which comes from this lovely florals that this comes from, and on the back side of this paper. Front side is where I got these flowers that I cut out. Now this is Secret Sea. This color is Secret Sea, but I wanted to use up some more of that ephemera that was in that collection, the Extraordinary Life collection. And then I just have some leftover ribbon that I thought would go on there nicely. You could put some more of those black dots on here if you wanted to. It's really up to you what you'd want to do with it. But these make nice, and I would put one there because I don't know what got on there after something fell on it, I think, in between the time I created it and now. But I'll put a dot there and then you'd never see it. So just a good way for you to use those banner dies. I also like to use the banner dies. Now there's a card creator, her name is Christy Marcotte. This is kind of one of her signatures. She always likes to put banners on her card. And so, you know, this is really cute. This cardstock happens to be crumb cake. Here's some more of that DSP. I know that when the holidays come up, we won't be seeing this DSP so much. So I wanted to use it, but I wanted to use it in a way that's creative. So I just cut a layer of this, and then I did separate it using a white layer, but then I put it on this crumb cake. And I created that banner just to give it a little pizzazz, I guess, and some twine. And then these flowers I created using that punch. Now you all know that I don't throw away my punches. I don't give them away. I don't sell them. I keep them because you never know when I'm going to need them. So this is the Petal Park punch. And so these flowers are created with this flower, and then I layer them. And then I had some of those natural dots again that I put in the middle of the flower. So, and then this that holds the sentiment is obviously layered. So here's the white layer is made out of this with some basic white, and then the layering part that's out of the crumb cake is out of this die. So they're put up on some dimensionals, which gives it some pizzazz. And then the sending smiles, I wanted to show you that, is from the Lovely Arrangements. So that's how I created this. I really do like it. You know, you could use it just to send, it doesn't have to be for a birthday. It could be whatever you put inside, and I didn't put an insert. Whatever you put inside in the insert that you put on this card could just confirm whatever sending smiles is referring to. So that leaves it a little open. So now I kind of want to show you how I've used these dies. So here's another one. It's using that same DSP that I've been using, right? You recognize it. It's just layered with a different color. So this is Secret Sea. And again, these are just layered with these dies. So there's the white, and there's the Secret Sea. And then I cut down one of those banners. So it's not as wide, but it is that banner. And then I just used that here, and then some more of those flowers that I cut out. So there's that. So another sentiment using that. Now this is using some older, last year's autumn DSP. But I was kind of thinking, okay, I want to think about Thanksgiving, and so this was kind of a practice thing. So I'm showing you this. I would use this again. I would definitely use this card, but I might change the sentiment here because this is off of a scrapbook kit. So look and see what you have. You might have some sentiments that are already ready to go. This is too small really, but you might have something else that you could put there, or you definitely can use whatever sentiment you want. But I cut these leaves out of the DSP that went with this this DSP, and it was a scrapbook kit, I will say that. So you know, when we start to see all of the new product that's coming up in July, you'll be able to choose some of these things to make your cards. But I wanted to show you how nicely these dies can help you create that spot for your sentiment. So there's that. And this is on basic beige. All right, and then there is another. Now I believe it was Patty Bennett that I saw that made a card like this. She made different versions, but you could use this as a fun fold, right? So you could put your message in there. And here's a stamp set that has some messages that would fit real well. So you could definitely do that, or you could actually use your sentiments. You could work them so that you could put them in lines because they might not, this might not be wide enough, but it is a part where you could stamp your sentiment. And then this is the this is a different DSP. It's still available, and I can't remember the name, but I used that on some other DSP. I just kind of put them together so because the green and the goes with this DSP. And then I took some Highland Heather and I used these dies again. So this was kind of tricky because you see I have the gold too, so I used 3 of them. So let's just use this, and this. And that's how all these were cut out. And then up here at the top, which would be, looks exactly like this, I just scored it and I adhered it underneath the green layer so that it opens up. Now you could do this on a white card base or whatever color card base, depending on your DSP, or you can just do one card like this. So, you know, I could write my message back here too. I could just put a simple thing in here and then write a message back here if I wanted to, or you could put it, you could do this front on a card base. So I want to show you those. I did also use it for Sketch Saturday, but I don't want to show it to you yet, so you'll want to come back on Saturday and look and see what that card will look like. So here's another card, and we're going to make this today out of some different DSP. But I used these florals in bloom. I did want to use them up. And so here's a card that I made using that. So what I did is I just took a regular card base. It was 8.5 by 11. I cut with the 11-inch side. At the top, I cut it in half at 5.5, and then I just cut 1 inch off of that front layer. Now, you could use that, and I did. I used it to make this flap for the sentiment. So before I had used these dies right here for the flap for the sentiment, but this I just used that Blackberry Bliss strip that I cut from here, and then it's layered in between this DSP that I cut out. So this is about 1 1/4 inch that lays on the basic white insert, and it just gives it that continuation or that decoration. And then I just cut these flowers out of some DSP just to match, and I used the rhinestone. I just love these, the rhinestone basic jewels. So they are nice. I think you can see the bling, right? Can you? Maybe? So there's one right here. There you go. So that's the card we're going to make today, but we're going to make it out of some different DSP. So let's go ahead and get started. And thank you for those of you that are still with me. Thank you. And let's get going here. So this piece of DSP measures 3 and a little over 3 1/4, and it is exactly the same size as the front of this card, and I did that intentionally. I don't want any white showing. This is just a personal thing with me. I like my colors to kind of really pop, and so in my mind, I think they pop when they're layered up. So because I don't want to make this card too heavy, this card is really kind of heavy, and so I'm just going to put it on the cardstock. So this is we're going to adhere it right on here. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm using my Stampin' Seal today. I'm giving my liquid adhesive a little bit of a break. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on here. Get it straight. If we have anything overlapping, we can always cut it. So there's a little bit that's overlapping. So we can just cut that off so that it's straight. You know, usually it's not a problem, but I don't want anybody looking at my card and seeing this left over. So let's just go ahead and cut it. So you can use the basic white as a guide to just cut that. It's ever so slight. There we go. So that is gone. And this is the outside of the card. And we're going to take our bone folder to make sure it's folded. And then I don't need an insert for the white because it is white, right? So this can fit right here. So this is what you're going to see. So this, let's look at where I got that DSP. So obviously this is the DSP I'm using in the front, but I didn't want to use this. I don't know, it looks to me like a giraffe or something. I just didn't want to use that. So I looked for, let me just pull it out because now this DSP is a mess since I took it out. So let's see here. This is live, so you get to see all the bloopers. So on the side of this DSP, the A side and then the B side, that's where I got this DSP. So let's go ahead and put that on there. Before we put it on there, we want to talk about our sentiment strip, right? So I wanted to just use this piece, and I used this die to create it, and it's matching this side, right? But I wanted to make it just a little bit stronger, so I die cut some white just to give it a little bit of strength. And I have already scored it here, and I scored this one too. So first I'm going to put them together so that they will lay flush together, and so that they'll give, the white one will give this, this is strawberry slush. This, let's see here. If you don't push it firm, you can pull it up if it's not flush, but I do want it as flush as I can get it. Sometimes our when we put our dies there, sometimes they can be off a little. See, it's off a little, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim it because you're not going to see the white. I don't want you to see the white. I want you to see that strawberry slush. So let's just cut it. So there we go with that. Okay, so there we are. Now we have that fold there. And this is going to sit right in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this down, but I'm not going to put adhesive right there yet because that's where I'm going to put my, I think my seal is just about empty. So let's see here. We're going to lay this down. We want it flush with the edges. Just like that. And then we're going to slip this in under here. Just like that. So let's go ahead and put some adhesive. And those of you that are watching, you know, it's really hard for me. I don't know how others do it. I'm just really bad at watching who's watching and acknowledging that you're here. That's why I like to ask you to, you know, go ahead and say hello so I know that you're watching. And then I'll come back and chit chat. So I want to go ahead and stamp my sentiment on here because I'm going to show you what we're going to do with these. Now, I thought about what color did I want to use as a, to stamp the sentiment. So I really thought about it over and over, and I think I'm going to be using the garden green. And I hope the garden green is not the green that needs to be refilled. So let's see here. So I'm using this stamp from one of my favorite, oh, here it is. One of my favorite stamp sets is called Thoughtful Octopus. I'm using Sending Lots of Love. I like that sentiment for these little sentiment strips because it's something that you can, sending love is kind of general, so you can just make it your own on the inside. So here we go, sending love, right like that. And we're going to put it on here, and I'm going to use adhesive to put it on there. And let's see if I can get this on here as straight as I can. So now we have our sentiment strip that's going to live right here. But I don't want to see the back, that white. So I'm going to put this right here so that you can't see it. I'm going to match those two. And I'm going to need to cut a bigger one because that, I'll come back and match it, but you can cut out you can cut out this size of a white and then this size of a white, and then when you put it on the back, you won't see both sides there. It'll be completely white. Actually, let's just go ahead and cut it now so I can be done. Let's see, I'm going to get some white here. Some basic white, and we're going to get that dye. So there we go. Let me run it through my dye machine right here. While I'm doing this, I just wanted to encourage you to just be aware that I'm going to be doing some Christmas in July. It's probably going to be the last part or last half of July, and I'll be featuring some of the holiday product that we have coming up in the online exclusives, so just be aware of that. I'm also going to be doing a class in July where I'm going to show you different ways to use up your scrap, so you might want to watch for that as well. And here, I've cut another one. So we're going to, this is going to live on here, and this is going to live right like that. And then it'll live like that. So now you could change this up too. You could put some more of this. You could put some garden green. You could put some yellow. Or, you know, I just left it that color. But you really can put whatever color you want. We are going to, whoops, I almost put it backwards and upside down. So I look at this and I can see where I want to put this because I don't want it to go over or outside of my card. So there we go. And now we can put this right here. So it's covering up that. And there you go. And then, you know, I cut out some of these from the designer series paper to decorate with. But you can also, there's some dies that went with this stamp set. They were called, let's see, I think I have them right here. I wanted to share them with you. So the stamp set that has those same kind of floral arrangements is Pretty Florals, and they had a stamp set that went with that. So if you have that, you could definitely use that, or you could cut these out of the designer series paper, but I'm just going to put this just like that. So I am going to have to pull out my glue. So let's see here. Hope you're all having a good week. It's pretty hot where I am. Okay, so I'm going to, because I'm going to put this on it. So I'm going to put it just like that. I am going to cut off this bottom part right here. And so that will be just like that. You want to make sure that you don't get glue on the top here, or when you push it down, it's going to glue that shut, right? All right, so let me clean up here and then let's get some bling, and we will see which one we think should go. So I pulled out a couple. These happen to be in colors, and I kind of didn't mean to do that, but I did. So I'm thinking this yellow, which is Golden Glow. This is the brand new in colors, the 2026 to 2028. I don't think the Peaceful Pine really goes, but definitely the Golden Glow you could use. If that's what you have, you could use that. The 25, 27 in colors also, and that's what I'm going to use today. I really like, I could either use, I think I'm going to use the Timid Tiger, or maybe not. Maybe I'm going to use these right here. I think I'm going to use these right here. So let me get my Take a Pick tool, and let's just put some of these on. Do I want those, or do I want the, oh, I don't know which I want. I'm having a hard time deciding. That's what I want. So we're just going to put these on here. But you could definitely put whichever ones you want. And maybe some of those rhinestones that we put on the other, you could put also if you wanted to. So there we go. We've put our bling on. There's a card. And it's really very simple. So, you know, you can put whatever message you want on the inside. But that's another way to use these strips. Now, you could just use another strip like I did on the one I just showed you, this one. I tend to kind of like this one better. This one's a little overbearing, but, you know, whichever you wanted. And the good thing is with these dies, you can use whatever DSP you want. So say you don't have this DSP, well, look and see what you have. And think about it for the holidays. You could make, you know, I could see this as a nice Halloween card, if you do Halloween cards. And if you wanted like a Thanksgiving or just a harvest or autumn, then anything like with these colors like the browns and the rusties, and so that's Cajun Craze, or the browns, or the basic beige. This is some specialty paper we had with that collection. And then this is just some DSP that I used the opposite side, and then your basic beige. So basic beige might be something you want to stock up on for the autumn or Thanksgiving. And then obviously for Christmas, there's going to be festive colors. Although I've seen trees that don't have the traditional colors for Christmas, and they're still gorgeous. So I'm going to bring all of those cards back in. You can just take a look at the different ways. Now, I just, you know, I haven't even exhausted, obviously I haven't even exhausted the ways you could use these dies. But I did want you to see some of the ways that I've used them and think of ways that you could use them. because I think it's like, this is can be a workhorse in your craft space. And that's what I wanted to, that was the point that I'm trying to make, is that this die set is not something, I mean, obviously if you didn't have DSP, you know, what could you do with it? But the fact that it has so many options is great, because whatever cards you're making, whether it's just now in the summer or as we approach the holiday, you know, this reminds me, actually, as a coffin shape, right? So there are so many different ways that you could use those dies in your upcoming cards, or even today. So I hope that this was of some value to you. If it is, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you have ideas, maybe you have these dies already and you've used them, I would love to see what you've created. So go ahead and make a comment in the comment section, and thank you so much for visiting, and have a great weekend. Bye now.